Welcome back to part 2 of the wrapping video. Another late start per usual, and I'm gonna get started on the side skirt tonight. Basically what I did was I cleaned it up real quick. I just sanded the edges right here because there was some adhesive. Used some glue gun as well to remove most of it, and the heat gun helped a lot too. So the edge is pretty smooth now, so when I go over and wrap it, the wrap should be able to stick pretty well. But yeah, the side skirt looks relatively easy, I think. I don't know. It's probably gonna be hard again. This twisty part might be kind of tricky, but so this is the next day, and this is what the side skirt looks like. It's pretty good. The bottom part is kind of, you know, not too flat. It's a little bubbly, creased up, but that's the bottom part, so no one's gonna see that. All that matters is the top part. Today I'm trying to do the trunk. In order to do the trunk, we have to take off the wing, and the wing is really stubborn right now. We also took off the hatch handle. It's super easy. It's just a bunch of 10mm nuts that's behind inside the hatch. You just have to take off the plastic piece, and then you just get behind there, and it's just these 10mm nuts, and then you can get the handle out. The wing also has two 10mm nuts underneath on each side, which we already took out. Now it's just stuck with like really strong adhesive, and we are having trouble trying to take it out. Alright, so here's an update. Got the damn wing off. Look at all that adhesive. It was really tough to take out. Look at all that on the bottom. Basically what we ended up using was some scraper tool, some heat and glue gun, and just shoved that in there, lifted it up, and just pulled on it. What a hassle. Now we got this side to do, and then I have to clean up all the adhesive on here and on here as well. Oh man. Alright, so we just got the other side off. It was just as hard as that one. A lot of heat, glue gun, and a lot of pulling, and using this little scraper to get underneath there. I did scratch up the trunk a little bit, but I mean, what can I do? I had to get rid of this. We also tried using floss earlier, but the floss kept breaking, and we didn't have fishing lines, so ended up using that little scraper tool. But holy crap, this was super hard to get out. Here's what it looks like. More tape underneath. Just gonna have to clean that up and get ready to wrap. So for the mid blade, there's gonna be an Allen key on each side to get rid of this cover, and then two 10mm nut and a bolt. So a couple hours later, a lot of glue gun, a lot of heat, scrubbing with a towel and scraping with my fingernail. Finally got most of the adhesive gone. The outline right here is just like missing paint. The wrap is gonna go over it, and then the wing is gonna go on top of it, so no worries about that. Next up, probably another couple hours for these. So all the glue has finally been removed. Now I could put new 3M tape for when I mount it back on. Also, I took out the windshield wiper. To do so, there's this little tab at the end of the windshield wiper. Open it up, and there's a 10mm nut. And then under the hatch, you'll have this motor right here. That's the windshield wiper motor, and there's just 3 bolts, 10mm as well, and then you just pull it out. It might be a little bit hard because it is a little bit rusty, so just put some WD-40 or something, and then you should be able to just pull it out. And then the grommet, you could pull it out from underneath or on top, doesn't matter. It's pretty flexible. It's currently 12:43 a.m. as you guys can see, dark out. But yeah, we got the top part done. We just added some knifeless tape on this edge, knifeless tape on the trim right here. And the reason we did that was because I heard that it was harder to do a trunk in one piece, and when we kind of like laid it, there was a bunch of wrinkles and stuff, so the best option was just to lay a piece of knifeless tape down there and then just make the trunk into 2 pieces. So yeah, next up we're gonna add another piece of knifeless tape right here for the bottom part. So here's what the trunk looks like right now. It's actually in 2 pieces, and you could barely even see the seam. I also did the hatch handle. This one was a little bit harder because of the letters, but basically what I did was I just poked small little holes, so that way I could release all the air. It's not perfect, but it will do. Here's how the rear end looks so far. Got the hatch handle put in, the windshield wiper back in. here's the final result. It's a little bubbly in there, but the mid blade is going to cover it anyway, so not worried about that. This was actually a pretty difficult piece. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier, but of course it wasn't. 4 pieces, one down here, one right here, one right there, and the last one right here. The hardest part were the corners where it rounded off, so there's a little bit creasing on the seam. I still haven't learned how to properly do it. Alright, so me and Alex just got this antenna removed, and we didn't film the process because we weren't sure what we were doing. Here's the whole assembly. So to access it, it's going to be inside there behind the plastics. There's one plug that's connected to it, and then like an auxiliary plug as well. And then there's just one nut that's holding it up. Up here, basically, damn dude, this is going to be kind of confusing to explain. Alright, so what we did first was we unscrewed this ring, plastic ring or metal ring, I don't know, with a flathead, and we just used a mallet. So it raised up a little bit, and then we were able to take this gasket off. We just pulled it right off. And then what we did was we went inside the car and grabbed the base from the bottom, and we stuck a flathead in between the 2 rings right there to kind of lift it up, and we just unscrewed it and we just kept going, and eventually it unscrewed. Took a little bit longer, but I mean, look at all those threads. So it was a little bit tight, but yeah, that's how you take it out. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, you can. There's a line right here. So we had a little oopsies. As I was trying to trim some of this excess off, I accidentally went over there. I was like standing over there, and like the angle was all weird. Kind of sucks because we have like no space in here, but oh well. Just gotta live with it. I'm not gonna rewrap this whole thing. Just a small line. It's okay. As you guys didn't know, I shoot blue flames. Car's already tuned. So we got the roof done. We got this done. We just wrapped over the brake light instead of putting the brake light cover. And then I'm gonna go over and trim this a little bit. It's the inside of the sunroof, so it won't matter too much. Dude, it is looking good. Minor imperfections here and there, but overall, it looks really good. Dude, camera does not do this color justice though. Okay, I just darkened up the camera. It looks kind of like, it's more purple in person. It's this blue in person, but there's also purple, which is not showing up on camera. 127.
So early.
So this video's been like all over the place. But yeah, it's been 2 weeks so far, and I'm just like working on it a couple hours every day. So just taking my time. Alright, so here's what the roof looks like. I got the sunroof back in. So far it looks really good. There are fingerprints and stuff, but I just gotta clean that up. And now I have the mid blade right here. If you remember, I said that I had bought some carbon fiber wrap earlier, like a long time ago. The purpose was to wrap the mid blade in this and just give the carbon fiber a try. So we're gonna do that and see how it turns out. Also, I was planning to remove the brake light, but when I was removing this little tab, it like snapped in half. I got this one off in one piece, and then when I unscrewed both sides, I tried to take this out, but it just felt like it was gonna break. So I just put it back, and I'm just gonna wrap around it. Look, I ended up just JB welding it together. So it should be fine. Hopefully it doesn't break again. But yeah, let's give the carbon fiber a try. So here's what the carbon fiber wrap looks like. It actually looks pretty realistic. There's also like a clear protective film over this. Once I peel it off, it'll look even more real and more glossy. Here's a better look in brighter lighting. So I just finished the mid blade, and it actually looks like real carbon, honestly. The top part turned out really good. The carbon fiber wrap is thicker than normal wrap. So when I got to the curves and stuff, it was a little bit hard. So it is made up of 3 pieces. There's a middle piece in there. You could probably barely see it. Some minor imperfections, like some creases. There's like another crease there, but the wing's gonna be sitting something like this. So at eye level, you can't see anything underneath. But yeah, turned out really good. Pretty pleased. So I got some 3M automotive double-sided tape on this. I know it doesn't look pretty, but I mean, it's still gonna hold up, and it's held up by the 2 screws in there. Same as this side. Hopefully my wing doesn't fly off. I just finished wrapping these little M plate things that go on the side right here. So So yeah, gonna slap these on and the wing is going to be complete. It looks like real carbon fiber. The end plates right there. It's coming along. Also for the bumper, some of you may know him on YouTube, 2Zlo. He came by and fixed this crack for me. Shout out to him. He did a really good job. I didn't even know a plastic welder existed, but that's what he used and he fixed the crack completely. Now all I have to do is just sand it so it's smooth, and then I could just lay the wrap over it and you won't even tell that there's a crack in it. So this is what the bumper looks like right now, but let me show you what I did. So these were actually all inlays. This was a separate piece. This was a separate piece. And this was a separate piece. The easiest way to do this, I saw on Kings Must Rise's channel when he wrapped his aim gain bumper. And what he did was he just grabbed like scrap pieces of paper and just kind of made a template. And that's exactly what I did. I made like a little template and then I just traced it on the vinyl. And it turned out pretty good. So right here, the hardest part was this area right here. So when it curved there, this right here was in the way, and yeah, I was getting into a lot of problems. But I eventually got it. As you can see, I did this a separate piece just because I wasn't confident in doing one large piece. Here didn't turn out how I wanted to, so I'm gonna make its own inlay right here, and then that should be it for this side. So yeah, we're almost done. Got this front bumper and then the rear bumper right here. Alright, so I apologize for the super bad lighting, but I'm actually outside right now because it's actually pretty hot inside the house and it's a lot cooler inside. Anyways, I got the middle piece done. I had a little problem right here. You could probably see there's a line. That's because I was getting a lot of slack in there and the vinyl was like folding up like this. So I just ended up cutting the middle part off and then I just had to create a seam. But yeah, that was probably the trickiest part of that. It's almost done now. I just have this little lip portion. Here's an idea of how hot it's been. Today was 95. It's gonna be 100, 101. It's a lot cooler outside. Alright, so here's the inlay right here. Now we just have that bottom portion to go. And the whole front bumper is finally gonna be done. I was having a little problem on this curve right here. I kept getting wrinkles and creases. So what I decided I'm gonna do is just make this portion 2 pieces. So this top piece is gonna go there, and then the bottom piece is just gonna go all the way across. And so same thing on the other side. So this is what the completed front bumper looks like right now. I think it turned out so much better than I expected. I thought this would be a lot harder, but if anything, I think the wing and the mirrors I struggled on most. Now I'm gonna get started on the rear bumper, and I'm just gonna do like the same thing. I'm gonna be making like little templates out of scrap paper because this plastic piece on the Tsunami bumpers, they're like plastic welded on, so you can't really take them off. So I just got these inlays done. The hardest part was probably right here. So like I said earlier, you can't remove this, so I had to put like an extra piece in there. Same with that side. And I actually did this into 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, 4 piece. And then this one is also hard too. I just wanted to give a quick update. Over here I kind of messed up a little bit. So when I had this wrap laid over here, I was supposed to just make an incision right here. That way I was able to have this wrap just kind of lay in here. But I accidentally made the incision right here, and yeah, as you can see, I have nothing to lay now. So I'm gonna have to make an extra piece to fill it in right here. But right here, I did it properly. I made the incision on the right side. Now I'm just gonna have to trim a little bit right there, and then this piece will just fold inside. Kind of unfortunate. I could rewrap the whole thing, but honestly, I'm kind of over wrapping it. I just want to get this over with, so just gonna put a small piece right there. So for the bottom portion, as you can see, since it like bends this way, there's a lot of creasing, so I'm just gonna cut that off. It's on the bottom anyways, you can't see it, and then just put another piece down there. The wrap is finally complete. This rear bumper was the last piece, And I finally just finished it. There's a front bumper, rear bumper. Now I'm just gonna put everything back onto the car, patch up some stuff, and show you guys the complete wrap. Guys, the car is finally done and I am so excited. It's been about like 3 weeks now. I haven't driven the car yet and I miss it so much. So the car has already been ceramic coated. I made a separate video on that because it was probably gonna be too long. I also put this little banner on here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But oh my gosh, it looks so good. So just to go over some tips for beginners, if you can, grab a friend, a few friends. It'll make life so much easier to cut out the roll, lay it on the bigger panels. And if it's easier for you, you can do larger panels in multiple pieces. For example, like the trunk, the bumpers and stuff, or even the mirrors. And knifeless tape is the best tool you can use. It's super helpful in making inlays and separate pieces and just making the seams like almost invisible. So yeah, the car isn't perfect. You know, minor imperfections here and there, but for the most part it looks really, really good. I forgot to include this, but the gas cap was pretty hard, especially right here. You can see there's still some silver because when you open it, there's like no space to get in there unless you remove the whole gas cap. So like I said from part 1, these wrapping videos are not a how-to, but more so like just my process and just kind of showing you guys that anyone can wrap a car. I've never wrapped anything before wrapping the car, so that just goes to show you that it is possible, but it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time, but it is definitely doable.